This is the EUROBIKE XC550 Road Bike, and I've been riding it, wrenching on it, and living with it long enough to give you a straight, real-world take. Key features you'll see right away are the Shimano 21-speed drivetrain, dual mechanical disc brakes, and 700C wheels. Mine is the 54cm frame with the 3-spoke wheel option, and I'll be honest, the looks are what pulled me in. It has that sharp black-white-red vibe and a racy stance that turns heads. In my opinion, that visual appeal is a huge part of why someone buys this bike. On the design side, the frame is high-carbon steel, which means it feels sturdy and planted. The 3-spoke wheels make a bold statement and photograph great, but they add weight. On my scale, the complete setup with pedals, kickstand, and 3-spoke wheels came in just over 40 pounds. That number matters in real use. The cockpit is basic but functional. The drop handlebars give me multiple hand positions, which helps on longer rides. The paint looks good out of the box, though I've learned to be careful with leaning it against rough surfaces. Steel frames can chip, and once you chip paint, rust can creep in if you don't touch it up. The saddle is wide and foam padded, but it's not exactly plush over time. The handlebar tape on mine felt thin and a bit plasticky, so I rewrapped it after the first week. From my experience, the 85% assembled claim is technically true, but the remaining 15% is where the real work happens. I had to install the front wheel, handlebar, seat, and pedals, then set tire pressure, center the disc brakes, and index the gears. The included instructions were vague and didn't match a couple details on my bike, so I leaned on common sense and a short tutorial video. The front brake caliper needed careful centering to stop rotor rub, and the rear derailleur took a few passes of cable tension tweaks before shifting was consistent. My rear wheel bearings felt a bit tight out of the box. A quick re-grease and adjustment made them spin smoother. If you're new to bikes, terms like indexing gears just mean fine-tuning the cable so each click lines up with a gear correctly. It's not hard, but it does take patience. Out on the road, the XC550 rides like a heavy, sturdy road bike with a forgiving personality on smooth pavement and a harsh one on rough surfaces. The 700C wheels are a standard road size that helps you roll faster with less effort compared to smaller wheels. On clean asphalt, the bike tracks straight and feels stable. When the road gets bumpy, the rigid steel frame sends a lot of vibration into your hands and back. That's normal for a bike with no suspension, but the heavier frame amplifies it. I fixed a chunk of that with better bar tape and padded gloves. Shifting on my unit uses Shimano trigger shifters paired with entry-level derailleurs. When dialed in, they get the job done for casual riding. Under load on a hill, shifts can feel clunky if the cable stretch isn't taken up or if the limit screws are off. The gearing is a triple up front, which means you get 3 chain rings, including a small one that's great for climbs. On the back, you've got 7 gears. The low gear is helpful when the route tilts up, and with the bike's weight, I used it often. On fast downhills, I ran into spinning out, which means I ran out of harder gears to keep adding speed. That's because the smallest rear cog isn't tiny like what you see on racing bikes. It's fine for fitness and commuting, but if you're chasing top-end speed, you'll hit the limit pretty fast. Braking is a bright spot for the price. Mechanical disc brakes use cables, not fluid, so they're simpler to maintain than hydraulic models. Stopping power is solid and more consistent in the rain than rim brakes. I had some squeal until I cleaned the rotors and bedded in the pads. If you're new to bedding in, it's just a series of firm stops that mates the pads to the rotor surface for better grip and less noise. After that, the brakes felt predictable. Levers feel basic but acceptable. The weight is the big trade-off. It affects almost everything. Accelerating from a stop takes more effort. Climbing is a grind unless you're on that smallest front ring. Carrying the bike upstairs is not fun. The flip side is that it feels solid and can handle bigger riders thanks to the steel build and the 300-pound stated weight limit. I have not had frame flex issues, and the bike holds a line nicely, especially with the stock, relatively wide road tires. What I like most, and what kept me riding it, is the combination of looks, price, and basic capability. It's perfect for someone who wants that modern road bike style without spending a lot. Key features that work well for me are the disc brakes, the stable geometry, and the forgiving low gear when the route gets hilly. The 700C wheels help keep speed on flats, and the drop bar gives me multiple positions, which reduces numbness on longer rides. I also appreciate that it's simple to upgrade. Swapping to a more comfortable saddle, adding quality bar tape, and putting on better tires made a noticeable difference. If you got the 3-spoke wheels like I did and you care about performance, Moving to standard spoked wheels later can knock off meaningful weight and make the bike feel livelier. There are quirks. The factory tune on mine wasn't ride-ready, so budget time for setup or a shop visit. The paint needs care. The drivetrain is entry-level, and while it's Shimano branded, it still benefits from frequent cable adjustments. Some parts feel generic, like the pedals and the grips, which is to be expected at this price. I had to recheck bolts after the first couple rides as everything settled. None of this shocked me, but it's worth noting if you expect a perfect out-of-the-box ride. I'd recommend this for new riders who want the road bike look, plan to ride for fitness or commuting, and don't mind basic maintenance or a one-time shop tune-up. If you're mechanically curious, it's a fun project that teaches you how your bike works. From my experience, spending a little on small upgrades turns the XC550 from okay into pretty good for the money. If you're chasing performance, long climbs, or fast group rides, the weight will frustrate you, and you'll be happier saving up for a lighter aluminum or carbon bike with a wider gear range. In conclusion, the EUROBIKE XC550 Road Bike is an eye-catching starter with real compromises. In my opinion, the value is there if you buy it with the right expectations. It looks fast, it stops well, it's stable, and it's durable, but it's heavy and needs a careful setup. I got a lot of satisfaction out of dialing it in and making small tweaks. It's perfect for riders who want affordable entry into road cycling and don't mind putting in a bit of hands-on time. If this video helped, hit subscribe, drop your questions or your own XC550 experience in the comments, and I'll do my best to reply. Thank you for watching.